Because the drifting of the
Okay,
dog.
exactly. Now the dog will must be here. Because when you do the blind,
You are drifting the dog to you.
Pull the dog this way with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
when you do a blind or you change the position before the dog, always you pull the dog to your position.
Yeah.
Always one thing that the dog always tries to look for our position. Always. Not only in the dog, the jam, in the lyre, in the whips, everything. Always the dog, when go ahead of us, okay, always is drifting to our position. Always. Always.
So the dog's line is always slightly towards the handle.
Always is more,
Parallel.
try to come more to your position than go away. Always.
Yeah, it's drifting
Always.
tiny bit.
It's natural. Always try to come, okay? And finally, you have to take care with that because, when, for example, you have tunnel, blind, dog wall, okay? And you think, okay, I put this too easy, put this dog wall. I put straight, and for sure the approach is correct. No, because you do the blind, you pull the dog here, and the dog is here.
And then the line
Now
is.
the dog is not. The pendal, the dog don't approach in correct position, okay? That is important, okay? If you are not so experienced, always better not do any change in the line of the handler before the dog, okay? You try that the line of the dog is the same that the handler is coming. It's easy for you. Because if not, with experience you can manage the situation, but you are taking risk if you haven't experience enough for that kind of approach, okay? But for that, it's better to say, okay, if the handler is coming from the left side, okay,
Keep on the left side. Yeah.
okay? And what happens if you put a back side where is the orange
Bucket.
okay? That is a problem. Why? Because a lot of handlers, for me will be nice come from here to do a flick, okay? But okay, it's possible that 50% of the handlers they haven't trust enough to do a flick, and they say, okay, I will do a backside. And what happens?
They have to change.
The blind here.
Yeah, exactly. They have
And
to
when the
change.
handlers do the blind here, they pull the dog to the left side, and you have 50% of the competitors that the dog can fall down of the dog. Because that approach is not good. Okay? That is important. Because if you put one jump in the where is Peter, okay? It's no problem because you know that nobody changed the position there because the course continues in this side, okay? No problem because you can run and the handler is more slow, will be more far of the dog, but always the handler will be pushing behind the dog in that direction. But if you put the backside in the orange
Bucket.
there,
Yeah.
okay, the problem is that some people try to do rear crossing the dog wall, others if they can do the blind, and it's possible that the best handler do a flick, but how many best handlers there are in the competition, you don't know. In every country, I am not talking about Thailand, in every country only is 20% of the competitor. The other 80% try to do something for survive, okay? That is normal. And in that situation, I don't want that any dog fall down on the dog wall because the handler want to survive in my course. I prefer to put easier, go to the side, and put other things difficult for another moment, okay? But not in this point, okay? Okay? It's clear? Then not change your position before the dog wall. Put easier exit of the dog wall, or at least in the direction of the handler is running, okay? Take the thing in the pendal because really the pendal is so useful for the people because if you think in the pendal, you more or less you can think that at least you think that you are running like a dog, okay? And you say, okay, when I am turning after the jump, my pendal is in balance or is in drifting. Is it drifting? Okay, check the approach. Check the approach because it's not good, okay?
Will you use this the same thing for the A-frame?
I think, okay, in if you have 1 meter 10 centimeter for to do a mistake, but I always prefer that I use the same.
Yeah.
But you have more tolerance to do some mistake. But for example, the other day, yesterday I was not upset, but I was worried with the dog of her.
With who?
No, your
Oh,
dog.
yeah, with Evans.
No. Mary, no. You. Your
Yeah,
small dog,
Evans.
yesterday
Yeah.
in the approach in the A-frame,
Yeah.
she crashed with the A-frame.
He did.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
I saw the dog, but the dog was in that line, and the dog
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
fence. That was for the color, because it was red. The A-frame was red.
Jesus.
Okay?
Sorry.
He doesn't see well where is the E-frame because it's the same color than the grass. Finally he jumped, but they haven't perspective of if it's in diagonal or it's more up. And he was running thinking that was more not so high, and finally he crashed with the face. Okay, I saw the dog. I don't see nothing because the dog continued running. And okay, I think that you did clean or you won't fall. But I was in my head, oh, shit. I shit for the color because really the approach was good, but the dog crashed, and not was the only dog. It was the most obvious accident, but yesterday 2 or 3 dogs crashed with the A-frame. Okay.
Very interesting.
Okay, don't blame me. I didn't know this.
Blame your A-frame.
Okay, but that is normal because.
No, yeah. I'm looking at Peter. Are you listening?
Okay. Soon you're gonna see Ava puts up A-frame for sale.
That's why I just asked.
I'll take it.
No, I got
Now
that
there
first.
are a lot of people that think that put more distance is more cool, okay? But it's not right, okay? I think that if you put more distance, okay, you can see that. Okay,
Small
I
speed.
put more distance, crazy distance.
That's
I
worse.
put this distance for approach, okay? Okay, now we are in, I don't know, 11 meters, okay? And we are coming from other 11 meters, okay?
Yeah.
The problem is that, okay, the first thing is that the dog is faster in the dog wall, okay? And the second thing is that we always train with the same system of training that is finally it's like a memory muscle because the dog know the target or know the shaping that you are working in the dog wall. I'm talking about the running contact because with 2 on 2 off usually it's not dangerous because the dog is not super fast in the dog wall, okay? But really, when you put this distance, finally the dog must do 1 stride more, okay? And when the dog do 1 stride more, it's possible that the stride, okay, the normal is when the dog, in the normal situation, the dog normal to do the stride here and the next stride is in the top, okay? But when you put more distance than normal, the dog thinks that the stride has to be there, okay? But really the dog don't reach to the stride because it's too far. And finally the dog does 1 stride here, try to manage the stride in the approach. And some dog in the first stride in the dog wall is like not so confident and finally they miss the contact because they are not doing the same stride in the dog wall because the approach was too long. Okay?
Question back to the A-frame and the colors. If you're judging some place, is it worth asking them the colors of their content?
No, I don't
Is that
ask.
too far? That's
In
too
5 years, I for sure I will ask because it will be in rule, but not now.
Okay,
Now,
that's too extreme. But then would you, in that situation, if that happened again, would you adapt your course then?
no,
You can't.
Same
This is the
choice.
color.
Something happens.
It
Something
just
should
happens.
happen.
Yeah, okay.
Because really some dogs are more sensitive for the color than others.
Yeah, yeah.
But really we cannot do nothing.
Okay.
If I know that, today I put less distance for the approach to the E-frame, a little bit less for not too much speed,
Okay.
but not more.
Yeah, okay.
Or you can try to put a control point before the contact, okay?
Okay.
That is one thing that I want to talk, okay?
Yeah.
Is that for the E-frame, special jump, like it's wall, long jump, tire, okay? And E-frame, seesaw, and double. I think that when we are designer, okay, we must think in some part of the court are transit part of the court because it's nothing, okay? Other part is a challenge, okay? That is the challenge that you want to check, okay? And other part is the control point, okay? And for me, always in the before approach to the contact, we must to have some control point, okay? That what that means is some sequence that reduce a little bit the speed, okay? Because finally we cannot put, for example, jump,
Yeah.
dog.
Dog.
That is
Yeah.
not sense, okay?
Yes.
We can do the approach that we are doing now because we are jump, okay, and we are doing really we are doing 90 degrees. The dog is not possible in full speed because now the dog
Has
must
to turn.
okay, jump is not jumping in full speed and again speed, okay. This is safe, okay, this is safe, but we cannot put jump, tunnel, jump, dog wall because the dog in some moment not manage the speed.
The speed.
And finally the dog finally they are animal and they want to enjoy with us and they are here for fun, but they don't manage the speed in 25 meters straight, because finally you must think that the dog wall is 30 centimeters, okay, and we must to put a control point before the contact, okay. Where is my control point in that sequence? Is that jump, okay, because that jump, between this jump and this jump, is not possible full speed. The dog must to turn 90 degrees. The dog, when start to run the dog, more or less here, how many meters has to the approach? More or less 10 meters. I think that I have in my mind one small rule, that is that I don't like the approach with more than 10 meters in a straight line before the dog wall, okay? If you have this in your mind, it's helpful for you, okay? Because you can think, okay, but if you put the tunnel like you say before, how many meters have you got? Okay, I have 7 plus 3 meter tunnel or 4 meter tunnel, I have 10, 11, okay, it's okay, okay? It's okay. What happened in that situation? I have from a straight line, for sure will be more or less here. I have 1 meter, 2 meter before, more 7 meter, 8 meter, okay? We are in 10, 11 meter. But if you have, for example, carp tunnel here, okay? Tunnel. Banana, okay? Tunnel. Now you have 7 meter to the jump, 7 meter to the dog wall. It's safe, okay? It's possible that the approach is straight and the pedal is in balance, but it's more than 10 meters.
Distance is too far.
Okay, it's not good because it's too much speed for the dog.
That
Too
is
much
all.
speed. Too much speed, okay? Because you can think that it's safe because you can put a tunnel there and the dog exit the tunnel here.
It's like us when they go so fast. The legs don't
And now
respond.
the dog starts to run in full speed. Have 7 meter, look 7 meter, 14 meter. It's too much. It's too much.
Can I ask you a question? Do you know?
And you can think that it's safe.
Yeah.
Because it's a straight approach and the judge can say no because it's safe, but you are not running in 35 kilometers per hour in 30 centimeters.
Yeah.
Okay, with a big dog, with a border collie, for example, that the shoulder is in the limit of in the edge of the dog wall.
Yeah.
Okay, I with my students sometimes try. Okay, you run the dog wall, the Gallican you can try because not fall down. Okay, you run the dog wall, you up and down, running.
Yeah.
Oh, and the people are scary in the top of the dog wall. You want that the dog run like a hell and with any problem. No, it's not sense, okay?
So I wanted to ask you a question. Like, so if you say you've got a 4-meter tunnel, right, and this is the dog walk,
Yes.
do you count the 4 meters of the tunnel
No,
plus the approach?
in that situation, I count in the 4 meter tunnel. When is the point that the dog is straight? If the approach is from here, then I start to count from here
So
because
that's where you count the
4 plus 7, okay? Okay. 4 plus 7, 10. But I cannot. For example, jump, tunnel, dog walk. You have 5 here, 4 plus 7 plus dog walk. It's too much. Okay? The approach.
Yeah, but that's so good. I'm going to put this in Facebook for all to you to know.
10, 11 meters in a straight line. It's not too much. You must think that the dog in a straight line go. When a fast dog is in a cove, it's in 5.5, 6 meters per second, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? But this is in a cove when you are counting the seesaw, the width, the turning, okay?
Yeah.
The straight line, the
Yeah.
dog go in 10, 11 meters per second, okay? If you put 10, 15 meters in approach,
Yeah.
the dog, when touch the dog wall in the first stride,
It's
it's
just-
in 30
you
centimeters
can't.
per hour.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's like us running full speed for
It's too crazy.
the legs
You must
don't.
go not more than 10 meters, but I am not saying 10 meters from the last obstacle with the dog. I say in the line.
Yeah,
The line that is coming.
Yeah,
Because
from the
line-
acceleration.
you-
From the acceleration
when
point.
the speed
see?
start to increase, okay?
So the
That is
acceleration
that,
point.
Okay, I start to count not more than 10. It's only for help your mind for design, okay? Because when you can say, okay, I put a tunnel, jump, double, I think that is too safe.
Yeah, that's
because really
yeah.
it's in a straight line, I think, and
Yeah.
you give your best, but okay, but you are not thinking in the problem.
Yeah.
Because the problem is that the speed is too much.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
some dog, and and you put some tunnel under the dog wall,
Yeah.
and the handler is not good,
Yeah.
because we must design for a stupid handler, okay? Because the smart handler, they haven't any problem, because in the last option is I don't run your course, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
but you must think in people that they think that the code is safe because the judge is the judge,
Yeah.
okay? Because some people, when you are the judge, you have the reason. And
Yeah.
finally, sometimes every judge we do a mistake, okay?
Yeah.
And that is a point that we must to think that the people trust in us, and we must to take care because it's their dogs and their dog is their family, and for me the family is respect, okay?
Yeah.
It's not any situation risky, okay? No. Okay, for that not more than 10 meters help for not a big accident if it happen, okay? Try to check the pendal, okay? Because the pen of the dog, you think in the pendal of the dog, okay? If some dog is crazy and jump always super wide, okay, we cannot design for a crazy dog, okay? But we must design for 90% of the dog, okay? If the dog is crazy, I cannot put this approach here for a crazy dog because the other 90% of the dog don't approach good, okay? I must to design for 90% of the dog. Some handler is, the dog is crazy, it's possible must to have here a kesker for short the line, okay? But that is a exceptional situation that we cannot put in our mind. Because
So-
okay,
So
some
we
dog has
can
a problem.
summarize that not always straight lines are good,
Yeah.
right?
That the problem with the straight line is for what side the dog is coming, what side I am running, and what is my force that I am pulling my dog respect to my position. That is the point, okay? Because if my position is pushing the dog in from behind, okay, really you haven't any problem because you are pushing behind, but the pedal is in the floor. Okay, you are giving power, but you are not pushing in the in other side, okay? But the problem is when your handling do that the dog change the line and the dog must correct the line for approach. Then the pedal is like this.
Yeah.
And finally, it's possible that the dog, 90% the dog manage the situation and not accident, but with only one accident, for sure you are not with good feeling after the competition, okay? Because
I'm sure it must affect their muscles, etc. if they're constantly
Yes.
correcting things as well.
that is other thing that I want to talk. That is that the force of the dog when the dog is in the jumping, okay? In the
Yeah.
jumping or when it's in between two obstacles, okay? When the dog usually when they want to turn to the left, they put all the power in the right, and when they want to turn to the right, they put all the power in the left, okay? That is normal when you are with 4 pow, okay? Because when you want to turn to that side, you put longer stride in the left side and shorter in the right.
like an
And
orb.
then you turn, okay? Okay? When the pendulum is in the balance, you are in symmetric, okay? Because if not, always when you are with more, when with some side you are pushing more, the pendulum is in movement, okay?
Yeah.
Always. Then you must to think in the approach the pendulum, because the pendulum do that all that your question that when the dog is turning with left or right side, put the power in that side. Always when the dog is changing the weight of the dog, okay, always the pendulum is in movement. But that is good for a skills
Sure.
in a jump, but not a skill in a dog wall. The skill of the dog wall is that the dog touch the contact and no accident. That is the skill for me in the dog wall. Touch the contact and do after the dog wall like you want, okay? If you want the width, discrimination, tunnel, flick, all that you want. But at least the dog must to run safety, okay? That is the most important thing, okay? This is important.
What about turns off the dog walk?
What?
What about turns off the dog walk? So right turns
That is
off
a skill. That is okay for me. That you can
Soft,
put like you
soft
want.
turns.
Okay, I don't
No
like,
tight turns, soft.
You can put a tight turn, but that is not this not in style now. That is stupid. But okay, if you like, you can put that. But it's not dangerous. Okay, it's not dangerous. The dog must to do one stride more in the dog wall, must to turn 90 degrees. But this only will be for winning Ireland, because really in Europe, my dog have 5 years. I never did a tight turn. I was training for 1 year that turn I never put in real life. Now with my dog, my new dog, for sure I don't train tight turn because nobody put that. because it's
And people seem to be going from running contacts back to touch-stop contacts.
Where?
Anything that we've seen recently, a lot of dogs have been stopping the.
no.
Okay.
Nobody can put a stop because if it's possible that in some sequence, if you have 2 on 2 off, you have more chance for
It's
manage the
easier.
situation.
Yes.
But that is a problem of number because you are in a small country or when you are in a small competition. Okay, if you survive, you can win.
Yes.
But in AWC, European Open, WAO, Gold Rush, a big event,
Okay.
for sure someone come here with a good turn in the dog wall or good discrimination, and if you do the dog wall with the running, you earn two
Okay.
seconds.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
It's not possible.
Okay.
So you lose a lot of time with the stop contact, okay? Too much time, okay? And finally, for that, it's not possible, okay? I think that, okay, the approach is more or less,
Yeah.
understand for everyone? Some
Yeah.
question with approach?
Very good. Yeah.
That's really good.
Okay. Other thing with the contact that for me is so important, the whips, okay? When you design, don't put the whips in the middle of the weight, okay? Because I saw never put the whips the scissor, the scissor in the middle of the weight. I
What do
saw
you
one
mean with
accident-
in the middle of the way? What do you mean
I
exactly?
saw one accident that one woman left 2 teeth in the scissor.
No, but you mean for the handler that.
Yes, in the way, of the
Ah,
handler.
okay. So in the path of the handler,
Yes,
in the
yes,
path of the
yes.
handler.
Never put the scissor in the way, okay? Never, okay?
I think seesaw goes better at the side, maybe. You know, like near the edge of the ring, rather than
In the edge of the ring is good.
it's good. Yeah.
Or in some point that you have sure that the handler not run in
They
that
won't
position.
come back there again,
Exactly.
yeah.
Or you can run in the direction that the scissor is
Yeah.
correct. But
Yeah.
in some course you can see the scissor in some point that the handler must to run close.
Yeah.
And some handler is running looking the dog.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Because they are calling the dog for not go to the tunnel. Hey, Bailey. Finally, you don't know that the scissor is here.
Yeah.
And finally, you crash with the scissor. And if you crash with a jump, like you this morning, it's no problem. Okay? Because you jump with the jump, you drop the jump, no problem.
Oh yes.
Okay? But you cannot crash with the scissor because it's
Yeah, no,
metal,
that will
okay?
hurt you.
Okay?
So, will you similarly then avoid like situations where handlers might be tempted to, like a lot of handlers will be tempted to do a rear cross, or something if the dog is ahead then and like too close then.
That is other. That is other. If you do a rear cross, it's possible that the dog is fast, and
Yeah.
finally the dog, when the scissor come back, you can crash with the. Okay. This is more difficult. That's okay. That we must take care with that. Okay. Other situation that we must take care is with the long jump wall. Okay. More with the long jump. Okay. If we put the long jump in some situation that the dog is in the way twice, not that the long jump is twice, but for example, the long jump, the long jump is destroyed for one dog, and after I have a layering in the side of the long jump. And if the dog destroys the long jump, after the long jump is in the middle of the way. Okay? You must to take care with that, okay? In that point, if the dog destroy the long jump, no problem because finish the course.
Yeah.
But if I put that sequence, and after we have some sequence that is here, in that direction, the long jump it's possible that some dog destroy the long jump, and I need to run with the obstacle in the floor, okay? Always when we put the long jump wall, is obstacle that is possible that the dog destroy, okay? We must to take care if in the next situation, the course, or after that situation, the handler run closer to the area. Because finally when the dog crashes with the long jump, sometimes the long jump go away like 1.5 meters, 2 meters, okay? Okay?
Yeah.
And it's possible that it's in the way.
Is there a minimum space for the long jump? As in to gather speed for the long jump, like you wouldn't be doing a back jump and going like, is there a minimum distance?
The minimum is the rule distance. It's for everyone.
Okay, it's no different for the long
It's no
jump.
different.
Like, okay.
At least 6 meters, but I recommend the 7. Okay? But with that, the dog has speed enough. Because if like today I was 1 in that way, number 2 in this way, okay? Okay? Because really, you can think that it's slower, but it's faster. Because in the other way, the people put the dog in a stand and it's waiting. And finally, when you put in the start in the other way, the handler must to send the dog and start to run. And when the dog approach to the long jump, the dog is in full
It's
speed.
already
You are not
accelerating.
stopping, okay, that is,
And they're chasing you.
Yeah.
this is a small thing about design that I haven't cared, but really is because I prefer that when you long jump you are with the speed, okay?
Yeah.
At least in class 6, 7, okay?
Yeah.
In class 1, if you won't give the chance, okay, they haven't static for go to the number 3. They start to run with number 1 because they haven't static situation with the dog, okay? In class 1.
Stay.
Okay?
Are you going to talk separately about the seesaw?
For me, the pros are the same than dog.
Okay, because there are some things I see in the seesaw, which maybe it's because the dog wasn't trained properly or other dogs I've had, but one thing is coming on the seesaw too fast, and also what object is after the seesaw. And I think that can determine how the dog. Do you know what I mean?
The assignment of the dog when she sees the next obstacle.
Yeah. So,
But I think that really the seesaw, I don't care about the exit of the seesaw.
don't you?
Why? Because the seesaw in the end have a static position. Because the dog must to be static when the dog must to touch the seesaw on the floor. And in the same moment the dog must to be static. The dog cannot to be running.
Yeah.
And if the dog is static in the seesaw, can turn 90 degrees. Why not? Because
No, she's in Spanish.
Launchpad.
Sí, te está preguntando que si el obstáculo que hay después del siso influencia cómo actúan en el siso.
if you put a tunnel in front of the seesaw, some dog when it's down the seesaw start to run for the tunnel.
Yeah.
But that is a skill, it's not safety reason.
Okay, because I had a young dog who was now dead, long time ago, and it would launch
Yeah,
into
but
the air
because
and launch into the.
because the dog don't know to do a correct seesaw. Because I think that when I train with my dog, okay, with the seesaw is important because some dogs fly in the seesaw, okay? But usually they fly because they think that it's the dog wall, okay? And they think that it's the dog wall
Yeah.
and they fly. And if you put the seesaw, don't do the check, okay? But if you put the seesaw, you
Yeah.
train 1 week with the dog wall in the middle.
Yeah.
And the next week you put the seesaw in the middle.
They will
All the
fly.
dog fly, okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't do the same, okay?
I trained the dog walk with
I have different cues.
With my dog first off, and I was thinking my new dog I'm going to train the seesaw because even though I trained them both separately, she loved the dog walk. The dog walk is her thing, and
But you have different cues, right?
yeah, but she'd
Okay.
still go up and she'd dive. In
Yeah,
the
but I think
beginning,
that this is a problem that's happening when the dog is so beginner.
Okay, now that we have that, what about there was a trend, and not very far ago, that the dog walk was and the seesaw parallel to the dog walk, and that was a lot of many dogs were flying that. Is that something that
And
you
it-
are
it-
trying to
and
avoid now?
Fly more is the first try is the dog walk.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. But I don't like that kind of travel.
Okay. Yeah.
Really, I think that the dog must to be separated in the mind. What is dog walk? What is seesaw? With different command. Okay. And it's important that but the dog can confuse. Okay, in some situation. And more if the seesaw is in the middle of the
Yeah,
court,
that's
usually they
exactly,
have more
yeah,
confused
yeah.
than if it's in the
This,
okay?
yeah.
Usually they have more problem when it's in the middle because they think that it's the dog walk, okay? And when I train with my dogs, at least, okay, the seesaw, the problem is that not all seesaw have the same weight.
Yeah.
Because it's not possible. It's not possible. And when I train with, I have 2 seesaw in my house, but it doesn't matter because I use Iman. Iman is in English? Iman?
Magnet.
Magnet, okay?
Yeah.
Imanes.
Imanes.
Magnets.
Okay, magnet, okay? I put magnet in my seesaw for change the seesaw for
Weight.
change the
Change the
same
weight.
for change the weight of my seesaw, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
I put magnetic it down. Sometimes it's so light, sometimes it's so strong because I put it on the other side.
Okay.
Because I want that the dog learn the behavior, not
No, the
like a
obstacle.
hen, okay?
Yeah.
But you must take care with the magnetic, but you take magnetic of nothing of 50 grams, and you can in AliExpress you can 10, and you can
Increase.
you can increase and change and okay. It's a good idea for when the dog has problem with the seesaw that because it's not because you cannot go to train to Dublin every week. Finally, you have one seesaw and you train with the same seesaw every week. But if you change the weight, the dog feel how change the body in the seesaw, because sometimes it's more light and sometimes it's more heavy. Okay.
And that's
For that,
especially for the
with these
small dogs.
small stupid things, you change the weight. Okay, it's good.
Yeah.
If you see the seesaw of Gallican down have magnetic seat,
Yes,
that
they have.
is a stick, okay? But you
Ah,
can use
really?
in
No,
magnetic and you put in the Gallican and it's working. If it's aluminium, okay, the magnetic is not work, but you can put some small bags down where is the okay. You can put something or put more
underneath,
weight.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Sometimes I put some bottle of water and I change the water and it's different weight and I use this for different weights. Okay. That is a small trick, but it's good. Okay. It's good because the dog, if not, the dog all time feel the same weight and they always the seesaw down in the same position. Because and some dog know that in that position the seesaw starts down and start
To slow
speed
down.
before. But if you change the weight, finally never the dog know where is the position.
The tipping point.
And you are doing more consistent dog in the seesaw. Okay. Okay. That is for training. No, it's not for that one. Okay. That is. And if you have the tunnel in front or you have something in front, influencing the dog that the dog want to leave the seesaw without release and go to the tunnel. Okay. But I think that when the dog really fly, it's because the dog think that it's the dog. It's not for the obstacle. It's because the dog, when the dog go to the seesaw, the dog don't see what is in the other side. And when the dog fly, is when the dog don't wait nothing. The dog run and in one moment fly because the dog think that it's the dog wall and in some moment there are nothing. Okay. Okay. With the seesaw for the judge. Okay. Take care when you build the seesaw. You know that if you haven't the Gallican 2.0, okay, if you have the one like here, okay, it's not. You can change the weight and it's for both sides.
Yes.
Remember that only one side is good because the other can break the leg of the dog. Okay.
Oh yeah, when you build it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Gallican, the first Gallican, you can change the weight of the seesaw and say, okay, you don't move the seesaw. I change the weight and you move the weight.
That's why you didn't let
Similar
me.
on both sides.
That's why you didn't let me change the.
Yes, I say don't change.
Yeah, that actually happened.
Yeah.
Clara's dog. She was here today. We did retriever. The last day she was competing in Ireland, it was too fast onto the seesaw. Her leg went down and got knocked.
But with the seesaw.
Yeah. But maybe the seesaw was turned the wrong way.
No.
She fell off.
No,
I say
no,
that the
no.
seesaw in Gallican, one side is okay because one side there are nothing, but in other there are some
Metal, yeah.
And when the dog down,
not
do
here.
like a
Yeah.
Scissors.
Yeah,
Okay.
Squeeze the paws, yeah. Squeeze the leg.
For that one side only is
That's
safe,
right.
okay?
That's why it's
You can
up
change
there
the weight,
because if it's
but
going
one
down,
side is only safe, okay? In the new Gallican
put it on the
2.0,
other side.
both sides are safe because now they put other thing and now they are now it's safe.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
There's other equipment as well, but they don't have it on the outside anymore. They put it on the inside.
Underneath.
Yes.
Yeah,
But you
underneath.
think that when you carry the seesaw,
Yeah.
one side can
squeeze your
Yeah.
your hand, and other not.
Yeah.
But with the dog it's the same. If you build the seesaw, or you put the weight in the not
The
correct
wrong,
way.
yeah.
Finally, some dog in the seesaw, okay, go fast and put the legs in behind, and when the dog with the weight change the balance,
It got the bone.
break the bone for sure. And there are a lot of accidents with that. Okay, take care with this. Okay, only in the mind. Okay, because it's a stupid thing. But when you are young and you go to that, yesterday she said me, "Oh, I changed the balance." No, you don't change the balance. We turn the seesaw. Okay, I don't start to explain everything to the organizer, but I said, no, you change me the seesaw. Okay, that is the reason because I don't want change only the weight. Okay. We have the approach. It's okay.
Yeah.
Seesaw is okay.
Yeah.
E-frame. Okay.
Same. Yeah.
Okay. With the whips, similar. Okay. In the whip, I don't like approach with more than 10 meter straight line and full speed. Okay. Because the dog, a lot of dogs reduce the speed crashing with the shoulder. Okay.
The other way.
some dogs they enter too fast in the whip and they start to crash in the whips, and finally I saw some dogs break the whips. Okay, break the whips, break the bar of the whip and break. Okay, finally it's important the same rule that not more than 10 meters straight. With this the dog the approach will be super difficult, but at least the dog don't crash with the scissors, because you can in rule you can put jump, tunnel, whips straight. But it's stupid.
So that's why, say, in this 1 to 3, you had a tunnel, backside jump.
But that is not good for that in that situation, because that approach not good, will be good because it comes from jump, tire,
It's a turn.
tunnel, whips. Okay, I mean I put that flick because the people can think that it's difficult,
It was.
but for me not so difficult. For me it's difficult the entry in whips.
Straight.
Because otherwise the dogs
Okay.
are flying at
For
them.
me, it's easier if you do a flick that is difficult in class 1, but you can do a blind, or you can do like a front cross, close 3 seconds and send to the dog. But after this, the approach in the whip is
Safe.
slow.
Yeah. Safe.
Where this is the point of control before the
Yes.
special
Yes.
obstacle, E-frame, seesaw, dog wall.
To put this in.
Okay.
I
Why
hate
I
it.
put that situation that you reduce the speed? Because I don't want accident in the sequence. Okay. You see this morning in class 4, 5, and 6, 7, I put like a layer with the whips. Okay. But the approach to the whip was not go so fast because the dog was coming from this side. Okay. Because really not go fast. It's only skills.
They had to come around to wrap it, so it was
It's not
fine.
difficult.
Yeah.
O sea, it's not difficult. It's possible. It's difficult, but it's safe.
Yeah.
That is the reason. Okay. That it's not a problem. For me, if one course everybody is disqualified, I am relaxed. But in one course, one accident, I am not relaxed. I prefer everyone disqualified but no accident. Okay. It's possible you are not happy, but I am happy. Okay. I try that. I try that. No, that the people clean, the people disqualify, and no accident. But sometimes everyone is disqualified. No problem, but no accident, please. I don't want 10 clean run and 1 accident, and I must to ask in the next week, oh, how is your dog? How is your dog? Okay, it's not was my fault, but it was too speed, too fast. Because you know that we are talking about the all-style judge, okay? That the accident is difficult because the dog never can run. That is true. Okay? And now the new judge is like everything is speed. This is a race. I think that we must to look for the balance. The one thing is not good, another thing is not good. Okay? Not. I think that I try to be in the middle. Okay? I don't like the all style course because I hate that. Okay? But I don't like the race course. Okay? Because finally you must run like a hell and you never have any chance. Okay? Really, when I design a course, I have 3 tips or 3 tips. No? Okay. 3.
Yeah, 3
tips. Okay?
3 ticks.
The first is if I can do the course, okay? Because if I can do the course, it's difficult for everyone, okay? First, I can do the course, okay. The second is some Mary can do the course, okay?
So,
For example, you are the oldie here, okay? Mary can do the course, or it's impossible for her. If she's possible do the course with the skills, I am not saying running. Okay, the course is good, okay?
You could do it running.
And
she
the
can,
third
she
is-
can run. She can run more than me.
That is important. And the other is it is safe. Okay, I check it, everything is safe. Okay, but you think that if I only design for athletes, finally 80% of the competitor I put away, and that is our sport. And the sport is a combination between skills and speed. Okay, before was only skill, not only skill. Before was only technical or only stupid front cross that the dog never feel the speed. Okay, that's not good. If only are speed, if the goal is only speed, finally it's a race. It's not a balanced course, and I don't like that course. Okay, if I put one course that only I can manage 1 point with my speed, okay, I don't give any chance to Mary. Okay, and if I don't give chance to Mary with the skills, okay, I am taking off all the illusion of 80% of the competition.
motivation.
I am not to be fired with the competition, with the organizer, with nobody, okay? I think that you must check, okay, the core is able to do, okay, for me it's okay. Okay, what is the skill that I want to check? For example, this morning we think in the width, okay? If the handler is super fast, can go around. I don't like go around, okay, but you can go around. I give the opportunity to go around, okay? Okay, you can go around? Yes, you can. Okay, it's okay. You can do a liar if Mary, for example, is not so fast, but she can send the dog around the whips. Yes, okay, that challenge is good because she can do with the skill. Other can we do the challenge with her legs. Okay, but finally it's for everyone. If not, if I design, it's too easy. I put jump, tunnel, jump, backside. Okay, tunnel, jump, backside. Okay, what
There's no chance for
it's nothing. It's only a race.
Yeah.
For me, it's possible, but for the other person,
Yeah.
it's possible. No, they are not showing nothing.
But again, if you have like even for you, if you have a mega fast dog, even though you run, you will never run as fast as a
No, but I
dog.
have distance for my dog.
No, yeah, but what I mean is that we'll never run as fast as a dog.
Yeah, but it's boring for me. I prefer some challenge that the handler must show the skills.
Mm.
Because when I design, I always try that there are at least 3 skills in the course: rear cross, some blind, some flick, some in. You can choose, but at least 3 skills. If not, it's a stupid course. Okay? We have, I don't remember now, class 1, that is a stupid course, but 1, 2, 3, 4, backside first. Okay? 5, tunnel, blind or flick. Okay? We have after with other backside, finish. Okay. Why I put this backside? I
Slow
put this
them
backside
down.
for not kill everyone.
Yeah.
Because only he can reach with the dog running here. But if I put this jump, tunnel, long jump, American reach, no. And for, yes, but for that I put the backside. For give the opportunity to the handler to collect the dog for continue running. And the people can think, oh, it's a backside. No, it's not. You think that it's a backside? No, it's not backside. Backside is in front. Okay, it's a backside, but the dog go where is the.
Yeah, it's a
first,
natural
okay?
line of the dog.
The line of the dog is backside.
Yeah.
It's more difficult if I say, okay, no, it's in. That is
Yeah.
difficult. But say backside when the dog comes from 10 meters running straight in full speed, that backside is stupid. It's nothing. It's not backside. Okay, we must think in the line of the dog. Okay, and the line of the dog in that situation is obvious for go to the backside. It's not difficult. You cannot fight with the dog. You only need to say back, and the dog go along because the line is directly for go to the backside. It's nothing. The difficult in some countries say, oh, in class 1 we haven't backside. Okay, you want that I put the number in the other side?
I like the backside.
It's not possible to do that back. If I put the number, it's not backside, it's front cross. After the tunnel, you cannot do nothing. It's stupid. Okay, I put that backside for you send the dog, and you have the time for
Breathe.
hey, you don't jump, and you continue running. If I put everything is straight, finally you have a chance. What happened in that situation if I go in a straight line? What happened? The handler
Jesus.
is in the width because it's
Yeah.
class 1, okay? The dog is in the width, okay? The side of the jump to the tunnel, okay? The dog entering the tunnel and the handler is in the jump, okay? When the dog exits the tunnel,
He looks at the
handler
handle.
is in
Yeah.
the middle of the tunnel at least, okay?
Yeah.
If I put it, we think that it's straight, okay? Straight with the long jump and with the other. The dog is possible that jump the long jump, it was more close, okay? The dog can jump the long jump, but the last one,
No
cannot,
chance.
because the dog turned right and refused
To
to
look for the to look for
because
them.
why happened that? Because the dog always drifts to the position of the handler. Always. My dog too. Okay, it always drifts to our position. If you put everything straight, finally the dog is drifting in our side, and finally the dog never takes the last one. When I put the backside, you send to the backside and you start to run with the dog. In the worst situation, you start to run with the dog. If you are a little bit better, okay, you send the dog and the dog is running and you are 1 or 2 steps in front. When the dog jumps the long jump, you are pushing behind and you are pushing to the last one. And you are doing an easy course with the movement, okay? Because that course, for example, that backside is not difficult. It's a help for the competitors. The backside of there, okay? It's a help for the whips. I
Hmm.
put a straight. Yes, but it's a skill and it's a help.
Yeah.
Because I am helping. When I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the number 6 is a help for the handler.
Yeah.
Because the dog go after the wall, the dog go alone to the backside. You do a blind. You send to this jab. When the dog go to the tire, you are in the tunnel. You can do the blind. You can do call the dog and try to do a flick. You can do a front cross, but you have time because you are sending this jump, and when the dog is jumping here, you are running there.
Running to the tunnel.
I am giving the opportunity to finish the code. If you don't finish the code, okay, it's possible because you haven't the level for finish the code. But really, I am giving all the skill for, or all the tools for you can finish. Because if I don't put that backside and I put front cross or other things, finally, if I put there a front cross, I am locking your position because you must to wait the dog that the dog come after you start to run. When you put that backside, you send, you do the blind, and you are in movement. You are in front of the dog. Okay, that is important. Okay, when you think that the course in class 1 must be not backside. I think that is stupid. You put a backside like this. It's no problem. The problem is I put the jump in front.
Yeah.
That is not sense. It's, you must reach to do the backside. But in that situation, any dog jump is straight, I think. Or one, but not. It's not difficult. Okay? It's not difficult. Okay. Okay. Approach is ready. The weaves. We understand the weave. Okay. You know that in the weave we can cross the hand in the weave. You know that is allowed. We cannot touch the weave, but we can cross the hand in the weave. Okay. Okay.
That's for the flick.
Yes.
That's for the flick
Follow
after.
for like you want, okay? But you can cross
Yeah.
in the jam, you can put the hand in the middle, okay? No problem. You cannot touch, but you can cross the line, okay?
So
Then we
you're
can
saying
lean
that-
over the dog walk
Yes,
before you touch the dog walk.
You
Yeah.
cannot touch, but you can cross the line, okay?
If you lay
Distance. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
Remember we had the two tunnels, tunnel
Yeah,
to
yeah,
tunnel.
yeah, yeah.
Yesterday, tunnel,
Yeah.
you can do it,
Yeah.
okay? No problem.
Only the saw the course. Before
You can cross the wheel.
I know, but then even the start.
You cannot touch the wheel. You can't walk.
Yeah, like we walked around and
Yeah.
we went like
Okay? You can, like many say that you can do that. Okay.
How do you decide the time for the course? Like
Time
some,
for the course.
yeah, like sometimes like I have a slow dog, and sometimes there's like ample amount of time, and other times it's like, Jesus
When
Christ, a split second and it
In
cuts
the
it in.
beginning of my judging career, I put a super speed. I put a super high speed in the course, and I think that I was wrong.
What do you mean? Tight time.
No,
So
not tight time. I put super. Yes,
A
tight
long
time.
time.
Okay. I put 5 meters per second. That is
Okay.
It's not sense. Okay. I think that finally the level. I like when the speed is put for the dog. Okay. But if not, it's not depend of the country. But in the country that I must put the speed, in class 1 I put 3.5, 3.6. In class 2 for 5. Okay. I usually 3.6, 3.8, 3.9. In class 3, 4 in agility, 4.2 in jumping. Okay. But what happens if I have a course that is really 230 meters? Okay, that is possible. Yesterday
We did it,
230,
we did it.
230, okay. One was 221,
Yeah.
other was 223,
Yeah.
another was
Yes,
234.
you did that to us in 67
And
yesterday.
but the time was different. Why? Because when I did the math, okay, I don't take 220. I take 230.
Yeah.
Because if not, the speed is super high. Okay? I don't say to the table it's 230. Okay? I say 220. But when I take my calculator, 230 split 4. Okay, that different time that is I say 220. But the course that was 221. Okay, I did 221 split 4.2 or 4. Finally, is you have less time, but with 220 you have different time.
Yeah.
But really, some course not was 220. But I formula I must to say 220. But for that is different speed in that situation. And in other way, depend of the judge. Okay, depend of the judge. Now I don't like to put more than 4.2. Because really, if your dog is slow, come other for win.
What?
Come other dog, other competitor and win you.
Yeah, they beat you. Yeah.
Finally, I don't like that one dog win in walking. I don't like that. Okay, I don't like it. But really, I think that if the dog is running, it's okay. Yesterday, I don't know, but one dog for 0.2 was out, and I put 1 second more. Why? Why not? Because it's 0.2. Okay. And I was checking the dog and say, okay, the dog was walking, was running, not was walking, was running, not fast, but was running. I say, what was the speed? Say, I don't know, 47. How time did the dog? 47.2.
Oh, it was 47
or
yeah.
something like that.
No, it was 47
Yes,
too,
yeah, I remember, but I don't
And then we
remember
changed.
exactly.
No, it was
the point.
46 too.
Exactly.
And then we made it 47.
And I say, okay, you put 47.
Yeah,
okay.
we made it 47.
It's nothing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But I don't like to be so strict with the speed. I prefer to be more strict with the design. Okay. And if the design is nice and is fluently, the competitor must fight. Okay. Okay. Always that problem comes when we are in a small country, because there are few dogs, and usually the fast dog has less chance to win than the dog that goes slow. Okay, that is a reality. Okay, but okay, if you put a yeah, but finally everything is in relate, because if I was Iris, I will do the same with her. Okay, everything is in relate. Okay, finally. Depend of okay, if the dog is fast, the dog has more chance to do a mistake. But when you put a liar, for example, like me, okay, when the dog is slow, the liar is harder. Okay, with the liar I put in balance the difficulty of the code, because if you have a dog that is not with a good or high drive, the liar is difficult because the dog come with you, and the dog of that the handler that the dog is speed, the dog go alone. And you say, okay, well, okay, I look the balance with that. When I put my liar, I put not for disqualify the slow dog, but I say, okay, they must run. They must take risk, okay? Okay, but really, you can do without liar, okay, you can, but you must run, okay? That's the point, okay? It's like today in the whip, you can go there, okay? You can run around the whips, but what happened with the people that was running around the whips? The dog goes to the corner, and after come here. And the people that did the liar, the dog go tight to the
corner.
and take a lot of meter less than the other. And you say, okay, if your dog is slow and you push the dog 10 meters away,
You're losing time.
10 meters and 10 meters, 20 meters. If the dog running 4 meters, you are losing 5 seconds in only 1 point. Okay? Okay, the people that try and have a fast dog, same with the liar, and they take 6 seconds less, more that the dog is faster. Finally, I'm putting a cheat to the people that the dog is not with the drive. But okay, I know that I am doing that, no problem. Okay, but really with the liar, always you are putting to the slow dog in a problem. Always. With the liar, always the slow dog has problem. Okay. Okay, I think that I want to talk about the liar. Okay, because for to put a liar, we must understand super good the line of the dog. Because if not, the liar is not possible. Okay. Okay. We must think in 2.5 meters. Okay, when the dog land. Okay, for put the liar. Okay.
To put a link, whoever wants to watch it, they can. Oh, are you having fun? A lot. I know. Oh, sorry. flick.
Okay, and finish where is Mary, okay? The course finish, okay? The course finish here, okay? The dog finish here, okay? Okay. If I feel, okay, I don't want to do the line, okay? I will be lost, okay? Because I have backside here. If I go here, jump. I have the wall there. The dog go to the wall. I must to call the dog. I must to do blind here. The dog loses a lot of time. Finally, if I won't compete, this is not the way, okay? Then I must do send here. Jump. Okay. Jump, flick, and go. Okay? For to put the layer, we must think where is the takeoff area and what is the land area, okay? If I put, for example, large, this is good, okay? Because after the vertical backside, the dog land. 1, 2.5, the dog is here.
Okay.
The dog can go, okay? If I put this jump here, is it possible? Or it's too difficult? I must to say the command of bypass. I don't like, okay? Because you must to say the dog must to avoid the tunnel for go to the next. Because the dog 1, 2.5 is here. Finally, the dog. Okay, it's not the tunnel. No, not tunnel. Go there. It's not good. Okay, it's not beautiful. Okay. But if you put here in that position, okay, it's cool because the dog jump. 1, 2, 3. The dog is straight. Jump, flick, and finish. That is nice.
Yeah.
What is the difference? The landing area. Okay.
And again, for your small dogs, they're
For
like
the small dogs.
Exactly the same.
so you move it for the small ones.
I move a little bit there. But depend on when you put some layer like that, I put more or less in the middle because I cannot change all the obstacle, and that is not safety reason. I move like in the dog wall, in the approach to the dog wall, because it's safety reason. I put the layer. Probably I put more easier for the large dog than for the small dogs. Okay.
Yeah.
I put more for small, more here. Okay, and the large is easier for the large because the large go directly here, and the small must to push the dog for the layer a little bit. Okay, I put more or less in the middle. Okay, imagine for medium dog. Okay, the large will be easier, the small they go a little bit harder. But okay, if you design a final, for example, always you design for small or for medium or for large. You can design for each category. Okay? But the problem is in the in a small competition, really is the same code for everyone. Okay, but that's
In that scenario, like say when you have a small dog, will you consider the fact that the small dog is actually not going to be able to see the handler from behind the tunnel? Because like they'd have to be like looking really up.
but in that situation, for example, I think that the handler must to do handling. Okay, because it's like you are made of. What is the problem with the, okay, that is a problem of the handler, okay? Because if I do that, okay, I say backside, okay? And I go in front, and she's there, and finally I am here, okay? I must to do the layer, but I must to be static here. It's not good, but that is the problem of the handler, because finally you are waiting here, now go, and you are static and the dog having power for go there. But on the other side, if I am a good handler, okay, I send to the backside, I take my time now, okay, go, and when she's in front, I push, go, and I go, and that is timing of the handler, okay, I want to see the handling, okay, I want to see the handling. If you have with a large dog, you don't need wait for the dog, because the dog directly land in the other side of the tunnel, okay, but if you are with a small dog, wait a little bit there and push from behind for get more power for go more far, okay? But that, for example, is a situation that if you don't understand the line of the dog, you can say, oh, in my plan, I have this, and you put the bar like in your plan, okay? But in, okay? Because if the handler don't do the layer, okay, jump, it's too difficult to do the in. Because finally you are pushing the backside, okay? You must leave the jump, okay? But when you leave the jump, if you call too early the dog take the jump, take the layer.
Yes.
Okay, but that is it's a skill, no more. Jump, you push the dog, and when the dog cross the line, in, and I do the in. Okay? That is important. Check what is the line of the dog. If I put this jump like this, okay, I must think that the handler must do a super diagonal movement. It's too difficult because jump and the dog see this jump and take the jump in backside. Okay, I must allow that the handler run more or less in parallel
Close.
when they are a
Close to
liar.
it,
Okay,
yeah.
because the liar is here, but if the dog go running and you are in parallel, the handler go in parallel. Usually the dog go in the same line. In that point, I can jump, and what is my line? My line is clean for push the dog. Then this jump is not a problem for the dog. Okay, 50% of the dog will have problem, but that is not my question, because really the sequence is able to do. Okay, jump, you are pushing when you cross the line. Okay, Baileys, in, go. Okay, but if I put this jump like this, that is other question. I must to jump. I must to say pass. That is the command for not take the obstacle. Pass, in. And I don't like that situation because it's not fair with the dog. Because the dog must to avoid the jump, and I don't like that handling. Okay. But when you put a layer, you put layer when the handler, for the side that the handler is running, the handler can run in parallel. In that situation of the tunnel, if you see jump, remember, jump, the handler is in parallel to the jump. For to jump, flip, remember, okay? You must to leave that the handler run in parallel, okay? Because if not, if I put here some jump and I must to say jump and I have here the wall, okay, and I cannot do the layer.
Yeah.
Because or I must run from this side, or if I leave the wall, I pull my dog to my side. What we was talking before about the always the dog come to our line,
Yeah,
okay?
that's true.
Always. If you must to avoid the wall, you are pulling the dog in that side, and it's not possible. Okay? You try that when you do some layer for when you design some course. Okay? Give the opportunity to the dog to run in parallel with the handler. Okay? And other thing that I want to talk is when you build you design code, or for training you build code of other judges, right?
Yeah.
Because it's possible that you are not judge, but you build code of other judge. Okay. Okay. The best program is Smarter. Okay. Smarter Agility is the best. Okay. And they don't pay me, but they are the best. They are the best. Okay. And there are one system for build the code that is so helpfully for the judge and for when you build a code for a training. Okay. The name is baseline system. Okay. That system is super efficient for build the course. Okay. When you are not so experienced, okay, it's super good for build the course. In FCI events, in EO, Junior, Senior, and World Championship, from this year, okay, if someone go to the AWC, will see that the course not will be built for the judge, will be for a group of people that they are the builder courses. They are the builder courses. Okay. And the system I explain in 5 minutes is too easy. And after I send to Eva one video that is in English, okay, because it's from America, okay, that explain everything, and you can just send there is the video, and it's super good, okay. The first thing that you must do when you go to the course, or when you take the course for you put in your house, okay, is we go to talk about the judge in a competition, okay. You must buy a line of meter, okay, one line, okay, one line 40 meters, okay, and you take first the white side, okay? Okay, I have 30 meters, okay. I have 30 meters there, okay? I go 30 meters, I put one cone in 15 meters, another in the other 15 meters.
In the middle,
I
right?
have the middle, okay?
Yeah.
I take the line of 40 meters. I have my line is 50 meters, but you buy 50 meters. Okay? But usually the cone is 40 meters. You take from that cone to the other cone. You throw all the line. Okay? When you have all the line, if you are a design and you are the judge, okay, you and smarter can say that the smarter gives you the coordinate, okay? If you are a trainer or you are a normal competitor, you can take the code of that. For example, I upload to the agility course, okay? You take the course, you take in smarter, you put that the course, you can use the course like wallpaper, okay? And you put the obstacle in the top. In the smarter you put in the top, and finally you have the distance of every obstacle, okay? And when you have that, you say that the smarter gives the coordinate, okay? And you put the middle is the line of the center, the baseline system, the baseline, okay? When you have that, okay, you know that this jump is in 7 meter, 2 meter right, okay? First you put the main obstacle, okay? The dog wall, E-frame, seesaw, whips, tunnel, okay? And you put with coordinate. And when you have all the main obstacles with coordinate, you can put the jumps with coordinate too, okay? And it's easy because when you are the judge, for example, I go to put the dog wall, okay? But if Mary asks me, where is the tire? Okay, so you go to 25 meters, 7 in left, okay?
Right.
And she leaves the tire more or less in the position, okay? And okay, where is the wall? Okay, the wall is right, 8 meters right and 22 from the center, okay? And you never drift the course in any point, okay? Because the problem when you build the course is that you start to put the course, and in some moment the course is in one side or in other side, or something is in 4 meters and other is in 12, okay? Because finally you take the course and you did like that, okay? And then if you put the line in the meter, so the baseline in the meter in the center, you are putting everything more or less in coordinate. And if you was designed more or less good, okay, finally only you must to adjust the angle because the obstacle is in the correct position, okay? That is super efficient system for build the course.
We did it at work and trials at the show we ran that time where I got, you know, the paint liner thing, bought the spray,
Yeah,
the
it's great.
and we put points on the ground every 10 meters so that you could do kind of a grid system.
Yeah, but the problem is that in Finland, for example, in the indoor, they have in the floor, in the wall, they have the meters, right? Because it's nice and it's better than nothing. Okay?
I also done that in my arena because I'm a fan. We do that.
It's better than nothing.
Like in a horse arena, A, C.
Yes, but it's better than nothing. But the problem is that you have the reference in one side and you start to build the course for one side.
Yeah, and then
finally you drift into the right or to the left. When you have some obstacle in the other corner, you must. Yeah, but it's difficult when you have in 22 meters and 20 meters in the left. Finally, you have a lot of meters that you can do a mistake. When you put the line in the center,
yeah.
really you only can to do a mistake in few meters because you are in the center. You can do some mistake in the right or some mistake in the left, but you never have any obstacle more than 15 meters to the center. And if you put in the one side, finally you have some obstacle in 25 meters to the right. And if I take the line for you, I give you the line there and say you put in 22 meters in the left, for sure you do a slash.
Yeah, yeah.
Here, because you haven't perspective, okay? But if you have the line in the meter, in the center, you okay, 22, you go to the line to 22, okay? 22 is here, okay? And if you are the helper, okay, it's 7 in the left, okay, more or less. They count a step, okay? It's here, okay? Now when the judge is coming, okay, you put it exactly point and you take all the angle. If you see me this weekend, I build the course super fast, but really in the first moment I put more or less the obstacle.
Yeah.
And after I go and I check, okay, this. Okay, now it's okay. But first I I put more or less the obstacle in the position. Okay. Another thing that when you are judged, okay, for the people that you are judged, the obstacle that long jump, tire, and wall. When it's a championship, okay, I put an exactly point because I send the core before the competition, okay. But if not, I put the obstacle where I think that is good, but always I check in the real life, okay. Because finally, at least I remember that they have all the obstacle, and sometimes Mary asks me, okay, where is the wall? Wait, because I know that it was in number 2, but the line I don't like too much. Okay, I put in number 7. Okay, but really, it's good that you use all the obstacles. Okay, because this is one of the things that you must check in at least in class 1. Okay, that the dog upgrade with all the obstacles. Okay, I was doing something that is not in rule this weekend. Okay. Because I was putting the wall, you was checking in the lower category, okay? Large was jumping in intermediate in a medium, okay? The wall was jumping in not in the correct side, okay? But here in Ireland, you jump in 5 centimeters less, okay? That I use it more or less that system in class 1 and class 2, but never in class 3. But okay, here everybody jump like that. Okay, I respect. But okay. The problem is that I cannot use the wall because I can use the wall in 60 because we have 5 centimeters, but the problem is that I don't want that the dog jump in 55 and the wall is in 60. For that I say, okay, it's not in rules, we cannot I prefer put the wall in 50 than not put the wall, because if not, nobody train the wall. Okay, I put the wall lower. It's not in rule, it's my fault, but I think that it's better to do the wall in lower category than not do the wall. Because really in rules, we cannot do the wall. We can do the wall in 60, but not in 50 for large, okay? But really I prefer that the handler show me that the dog know the wall more than the dog don't jump the wall, okay?
Thank you for
okay?
that.
But for that I prefer to put the wall, okay? For that is important, okay? Use the wall, the tire, the long jump. I saw this morning some dog that never was jumping the long jump for sure, because they don't know the long jump, one center, okay? But really, they must to train that. And if you put all the contact in all the competition, for sure that the competitor go to the president of the club and say, please buy one. I have 3 competition with my dog drop the wall. I want one wall in my house now. Okay, that's true. But if you never put the wall, nobody complain because complain to the judge that the judge the first day put the wall, but really not complain with the president of the club that must buy a wall for the people playing the wall.
Okay,
because
I'm going to pass the hat after. Right?
That was really nice to see all the
Okay, I think that is good. It's rich to use all the obstacles. Okay, remembering rule, not spray jump in class 1 is not allowed. Okay,
What's not allowed?
spray jump is not allowed in class 1.
2 jumps.
Oh, the oxer.
Double jump.
Double
It's
jump,
not. It's not allowed. Okay,
Yeah, sir.
not allowed. Okay. Okay, it's important, and it's important too that when we are design, try not to repeat the obstacle. Okay. In FCI, there's one rule: if you destroy the obstacle the first time, the dog is disqualified. Okay. If the number 2, for example, in number 2 or number 21, I don't know. Okay. If the dog in number 2 not drop the bar. If drop the bar, no problem. But if destroy the wing,
So if the wing comes down, they can't.
disqualified directly.
Disqualified.
Directly.
But what if the pole goes down? Is the pole put back up then?
If
No.
the pole is down, no problem. You can replace the pole. But if the wing is down, the dog is disqualified.
But let's say the dog plows through, right? Let's say the wings are staying. So I'm coming up, going wherever, and the wings stay upright, but the pole lands there.
They start on the line of
And my
another.
line here is going this way. What happens to the pole?
You try not fall down.
I know, but in terms, this is in the line for
Yes.
the dog to run now.
Yeah, but that is
Bad luck.
okay. This I don't know. It was this morning on yesterday. One dog dropped one number 5, I think, and I was judging and I was running there and I
The ball,
take
yeah,
off the
I saw that.
ball
Yeah.
because I prefer don't see one refuse, but I prefer that the handler not
Stumble on it, or the
step on
dogs fall on it, so
Yes,
coming from there.
but
Yeah.
okay, but if we have a helper
Yeah.
and the helper are working, the helper must go and
Okay,
take off.
so that's what I'm saying.
Okay?
They're allowed to go and take it
Okay,
away. Like.
you think that you exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
but the helper, not you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. yeah
Okay,
yeah.
but if I am the judge and I saw that my helper is not ready, okay, I was in number 5 and you must go tired, come back. I was and I did that.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, you run. Okay,
Yeah.
that you must to be in movement all time.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are judge, but you are not the god. Okay, finally you are ready for everything. If something is down, okay, you take off. Or,
Yeah.
you must check the wheel because sometimes the wheel is in movement. Sometimes the back was a little bit in front. Okay, you come, you check, you put. You must to talk with the table. Say, okay, my refuse, my hand, confirm all the clean run. That is okay. I think that is normal. Okay, but I think that the rule for judge is only study. That is, we cannot spend any minutes about the rules. Okay, but really the most important part is the safety. That is approaching contact, approaching weaves and different obstacles. Okay, and for example, understand the line. For that, I was explain the layer. Okay, and for example, I want the last exercise that I want that someone put me like a 3 jump in circle. How do you put 3 jump in circle? And you exit the
What am I doing? Sorry.
you exit the tunnel,
Yes.
and I want that, but in the other side, in that tunnel, I want that you put a circle. Jump, tunnel, jump, 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 like a circle.
Like a pin,
Okay, it's better.
a wheel
You
pin,
jump
pin wheel.
And you must to reach to this tunnel with 3 jumps.
In between.
Blue tunnel, and you must to finish here in this tunnel. How will be the line? The dog entering the tunnel. You put the next 3 obstacles to reach to the yellow tunnel.
That was very interesting too.
I saw judge faster than you. The distance is good. Only that now we must check the angle of the jump.
They are coming in the slide, perpendicular from there.
I was giving a course with the Panama. All the judges of Panama, only 3. Okay, only three. Okay, and this is an exercise that I do. I give 3 jump and say, okay, you must put the sequence from there to here and approach to the contact, and but with 30 seconds. Okay, with pressure, it's not work because you have 1 hour. You have a problem now. What is the distance?
What's the distance?
No, you have to finish in the yellow one.
You can
finish
you can
in the
do some
tunnel.
sequence. But you think?
Yeah, no, I think, yeah.
Okay, no, but I said that. Yeah, tunnel. You must finish after this tunnel.
So I will
You
go
think in
up,
order because
and down,
everyone will do the same.
up and down. Up and then down. Because they are landing there. That's the line. Yeah. Huh? I will put it there and then down. I will go up. I will go to the other side of it. I will never bring it. Yes, I will never bring it like that. They will come in a slice. Landing there. That's the that's where they are landing.
I would go further back.
Yeah, farther back, exactly. Yeah.
And then I would.
Yeah, and then
When
back.
you say further back, further that way.
Farther.
Yeah.
Farther.
Where the other jump is.
Yeah, a little bit, even a little bit farther.
And then I'd slow them
And
down
then
with
it's,
something.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
turn on
Yeah.
the way
So
down.
remember, you said
they want
where's
cold
your
shade.
point of what is it? The point of action that you want to do before you go into the speed.
There's
You know, other
The-
thing
the
that
control,
they-
po-
they-
the
control
control point.
point.
Curious.
So
You know what is the obstacle that they are more injury? In
The
agility?
tunnels.
The tunnels, okay?
Yeah, the
Tunnels
tunnels.
always must be
Straight.
straight, not straight.
pulled
full
out,
extension.
Pull
Yeah.
station.
Full extension.
That's another thing.
What?
It's like
Full extension, okay?
yeah, even like when you put a curve, it can't be like
pull apart.
Sun, finger of the dog, entry.
Yeah.
and-
nails get caught.
Okay, how is more or less? What is your idea?
But I don't know whether or not
For example, she was thinking this is okay, this is difficult for her. But okay, she was thinking jump in, okay? For me that jump in, that sequence is too difficult, okay? Will be super difficult, okay?
Yeah.
Why? Because if I go
Jumping there.
this line at least I will put like that, okay? Why? Because your line was here, okay?
The dogs have in a way.
This jump is super good, okay? Tunnel, come here, super.
Yeah, I like that.
Jump. 1, 2, 3.5. Okay? The dog must to collect immediately for entering the line. It's difficult. What is the problem? Give me 2 wings.
The wing.
Yeah, it's in the way. They gotta come around the wings.
What is the problem now? Okay. The dog entering now in this line, and when jump,
They're gonna knock
crash there. Crash there, okay?
Okay.
For that, when this happens, it's better to do or harder in, okay?
I think come all the way around.
And now the dog must to reduce a lot the speed for entry, and now is more safe, or the handler can go to the long way, or now if you put in the limit that you think that is easier, it's easier, but the dog jump in the line of the
wing.
okay, it's better or put harder or put easier, okay? If you want in, okay, jump in, now it's in, but it's safe, because when the dog entering the in, have a lot of space for jump, okay? All time that you are reducing here, you are reducing the space for the dog jump. For within in large dog, okay? They have a good, wider shoulder, okay? Finally, if we do that, we have the same difficult, because the dog that not do the in will have problem here. But finally, when the dog entering the line, have a nice angle for entry, okay? That will be good, okay? But one part was done, okay? I think, for example, this sequence will be like this, out, you can use
Out.
out, this, okay? And you have out or out, okay? Always we can to try to give two opportunity, two different lines for the dog, okay? Because for sure this line, if it's backside, is only that line, okay? But if I want to do a good course or rich course, it's better if the handler can choose different lines, okay? If I put this line like this, okay? Everybody go to this side, okay? Because the other is too far, okay? What is the point? Putting some angle that the handler have doubt for what side is faster, okay? If you put more or less like now, okay? Finally, you don't know for what side is faster. Some people will take the short line, and others will do the blind and send in the long way. Depend of the handler. okay? And that is good because if you remember this weekend, in a lot of situations, some handlers do long way or short way. How was the best? I don't know, because if I know what is the best, everybody go to the same side because it's obvious, okay? I put in some point that more or less is the same, okay? And depend of the dog, some is faster or not faster. And with that, with this small situation, you do that the course is more interest for the people, because the people come here and start to talk with what is faster. I don't know. I start to measuring what is faster, okay? And that situation do that the course is interest, okay? And this only are doing with the angle, okay? And what is the reason? Because I always in training, okay, with 90% of the dog, with 3 steps, okay, is the same time, okay? If they are less than 3 steps, always is faster for the long way, okay? If they are more than 3 steps, always is faster for the short one, okay?
Sorry.
That's the rule, okay?
Can I ask a stupid question? Can you translate 3 a step?
Yes, I was going to ask.
Steps.
Oh, 1,
So-
3
So when you are
So
measuring,
if the distance that you've got to walk is more than 3 steps, it will be too
If
long.
it's 3 steps, fine.
So like the 2.5
1, 2,
meters.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
the longer,
12,
yeah.
13, 14, 19, okay? 19.
Yeah.
The other?
Should be more or less the same.
Okay.
so if there are 3 meters
What happened?
more, 3 steps.
19, okay, is faster go to the long way, okay? Okay?
Maybe put more pressure on the dog, which sometimes is about as well. Not what's the longest or fastest.
Depend on the dog, but usually 90% of the dog, 3 steps. I have a lot of, not me, a lot of handlers. The best thing is that you check with your dog, okay? But really, usually, I will have the reason, 2.5 step, 3 step. 3 step is same time. Less than 3 steps, you must to go to the long way. More than 3 steps, you must to go to the short. What that mean? Now was the same. The same is faster here. What I can do to do fast, more like this. Okay. Now it's longer here. Okay. But I don't know if it's longer enough. You must to put in a situation that you never know what is faster. And with that, if you put 1 or 2 in the course, you are giving a lot of opportunity to the handler thinking what is the best option. Okay. And that is not difficult. Okay. That is not difficult. Okay? And when you put the course, you must try think in some sequence that is not for every competitor the same line. Okay? And with this, with only some small change, you can make that. Okay? Okay? That like competitor, you check if same meters. Okay,
Straight,
always short.
out,
But more than
and
3
then
steps.
out.
Short. Less than 3 steps, long. 3 steps, same time. You choose the easier, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And for example, for the layer of this morning, okay, that we was doing the layer in the. Well, I want to explain that the layer of the. You remember the layer of the E-frame yesterday?
Mhm.
It was similar than this morning, okay? I think she was. She was okay. When I saw you, say okay, qualify for sure, okay. Because what is the problem? Okay, you must to give the opportunity to the handler to push the dog from behind in the layer, okay. If the handler not push the dog from behind, it's too difficult to do the layering, okay. If we have the E-frame here, and we have the jump here, and the other jump on the side, okay. If the handler come here and anything this line or after come back,
Yes.
it's not possible. You are entering the prison here. You are done, okay? You enter here, you cross the line, but you can never give a step, back step, okay? Never. you must to give the opportunity to take the connection here with the dog, send the dog, and I push in parallel, okay? Because you like before we was talking, you must to give the opportunity to run in parallel, and now you run in parallel, the dog jump along, and you are good for to do the next obstacle, okay? It's like this morning in the whips, okay?
I just felt with my dog on that one, because he doesn't have that, I don't have that push with him, and I just felt where the A-frame was, if he took a sharp
I
turn
think
to
that
the
if you
left,
was in parallel,
he was going to be smack into the A-frame.
I think not.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's,
That's
if
why
you
I
stop,
thought-
if
yeah.
you send directly and you continue running in front, the
Yeah.
dog don't come behind.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
the
that
problem
was
is
my worry. I just felt it was too close to the small
you must to
dog
run
be
in
across.
parallel. It's like this
Yeah.
morning in the whips. In the whips, I give the opportunity to run in parallel, yes, because you can run from this side, but in parallel. You are pushing all time. Some dog entering the whips, any dogs. Because, okay, it was easier because the whips you can see between the whips, okay? But in